Hi, this is Ralph Fritz. I'm going to talk to you today about one of the problems facing our school system, our public school system in the United States, but specifically in the state of Minnesota, and that is the achievement gap between non-white and white students, and also some organizations and some ways that we can start turning the percentages around. Sadly, in our state and our country, the numbers continue to grow as far as the number of minority students in our public schools versus the number of minority teachers. Year after year, when we have in Minnesota a growing minority population, we are promising outcomes that we're falling short on. Approximately 34% of Minnesota public schools students, K through 12, are non-white students, while only 5% of teachers in Minnesota are teachers of color. Research has shown that having teachers of color in the classroom has a positive impact on our student learning and behavior outcomes. So, in an effort to address some of these issues, the school district that I live in, that I have a child in, Minneapolis Public Schools, they've just passed a comprehensive district redesign in which they have decided to help close the achievement gap in Minneapolis Public Schools for minority students by redrawing the boundary lines, by changing the dynamics and the percentages of minority students versus white students per school. Now, why this is probably a good idea for certain reasons, it doesn't address what I'm talking about today, and that is what some other states have researched and found, and something that I think could be a real solution for our state. Now, in the state of Florida, they had researchers that had a 7-year study with 3 million students, 92,000 teachers, like I said, over 7 years. And they found a positive effect in both reading and math scores for Black students who were taught by Black teachers. For students who performed at the lowest levels, the effect of having a teacher of the same race was even greater. Similar research in North Carolina found that low-income Black males who had just one Black teacher in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade were less likely to drop out of high school and more likely to consider attending college. This study estimated that having one Black teacher in elementary school cut high school dropout rates by 39% among Black boys from low-income households. Now that's real numbers and real change. Sponsored by Representative Mary Kunesh-Podding, she's a DFL representative in New Brighton. With bipartisan authorship, she authored the Increased Teachers of Color Act 2020. It seeks to create comprehensive systemic change needed to address opportunity and the achievement gap while strengthening existing programs for attracting, preparing, and retaining an increased percentage of teachers of color and American Indian teachers in Minnesota. There's no doubt that everybody in the state wins when we help bridge the achievement gap for minority students and continue to grow a more equitable educational environment for our growing minority population. We can all be part of the solution that helps improve the lives of all Minnesotans, not just the white ones. One way to learn about this is to support the Coalition to Increase Teachers of Color Act and American Indian Teachers in Minnesota by visiting www.tocaimn.com or reach out to your local state senator or representative and let them know that you support legislation that supports growing our teachers of color in Minnesota. So here at Hamline, I ask you to spread the word about the Ralph Fritz Endowed Scholarship. It provides tuition scholarships to eligible full-time upper-class undergraduate minority students enrolled in the teaching licensure program. Ralph Fritz and his wife Marian were both Hamline graduates and public school teachers in Minnesota. It was their passion to see all students achieve their goals despite socio-economic or racial barriers. And when all students achieve, opportunities are created, children are lifted out of poverty, and our whole community wins. So will you join me and let's spread the word and support more teachers of color in Minnesota. Thank you.